right, let's look at the homework real quick, please. I'm gonna do a homework help video. Okay, so look, it says write the equation in slope-intercept form. Slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b. It's in that form. Okay, so that means you need to get y by itself. To get y by itself, you have to move this x term. This is a negative 4x, so you're going to add 4x to both sides. When you add 4x to both sides, this is gone, and you're left with the negative 8y. On this side, you cannot combine these terms, so bring them both down. Okay? After you do that, in order to get y by itself, now you got to get rid of this negative 8. It's attached to y by multiplication. The opposite of multiplication is division, so you're going to divide everything by that negative 8 to get rid of it. When you divide this by negative 8 divided by negative 8 is a positive 1, so you're left with 1y equals, then we have 4 divided by negative 8, leave it as a fraction, but reduce it. Divide both in the top by, divide both and the top by a 4, and that's going to give you 1/2, negative 1/2 actually, x. And then when you reduce this, negative divided by negative is a positive. 16 divided by 8 is 2. This is written in slope-intercept form. For the second one, to write an equation for this, you're given a point. This is your y coordinate. This is your x coordinate. And they tell you what the slope is, which is m. M is equal to 1/2. So only thing you need is b. So you have to find b. I'm going to do that over here because this is the most space, okay? To find b, you use the slope-intercept form, y equals mx plus b. You're going to substitute the point that is given along with m. So here, your y value is right here, negative 2. Your m is going to be 1/2. Your x right here is negative 6. I'm going to write it as a fraction, negative 6 over 1 plus b. Now I can solve for b so that I can write my equation. I'm going to multiply. When I multiply fractions, I multiply straight across. I'm going to just bring this down, bring down my equal. When I multiply straight across, this gives me negative 6 at the top and positive 2 on the bottom. Bring down the plus b. When I simplify this, a negative divided by a positive is a negative. So I'm going to bring this down, continue to bring down the equal. So this is going to be a negative 3 plus b. Okay? To get b by itself, get rid of the negative 3 by adding 3 on both sides. Negative 2 plus 3 is going to give you a positive 1. So b is positive 1. So this is going to be y equals mx plus b. You have your m, you have your b. Y is equal to m, which is 1/2, x plus b, which is 1. So that's my equation written in slope-intercept form. All right, so here, to find the solution of a system, you graph both equations and figure out where they cross each other. Wherever they cross is going to be the solution. So let's graph the first equation. Label your m and your b. Your m is the number that is attached to the x. So that's 3. Write 3 as a fraction so that you can have rise over run. The top number is your rise. The bottom number is your run. Your b is the number that has no variable attached. So your b in this equation is negative 4. That's your y-intercept. That's where the line crosses the y-axis. After you label, you're going to find negative 4, whatever your b is, on the y-axis. Negative 4 on the y-axis from the origin is down 1, 2, 3, 4. That's where you start. You put your point on negative 4. Now you're going to use your rise over run to put points on the line. Your rise is 3 and your run is 1. So you go up 3. What are you looking for? All right. Let's finish this one. Okay, so you're going to use the slope, rise over run. Rise is up, run is left, right. Okay, up, down is rise, left, right is run. So this is positive 3, so go up 3 from this point. 1, 2, 3. Positive 1, so go to the right 1. 1. Up 1, 2, 3, over 1. 1, 2, 3, over 1. Okay? Not enough space to do it in the opposite direction. So I just connect my points and draw my arrows at the end. The second equation, the slope for the second equation is negative 1 over positive 2. Don't make both of them negative because a negative divided by a negative is a positive. So only make one of them negative. So we got negative 1 over 2. This is my rise. This is my run. Okay? So B is going to be 3. That's the number that has no variable attached to it. So I start at positive 3. That's up this way from the origin. 1, 2, 3. Now I use my slope, my rise over run, to put points on the line. I go down 1 and to the right 2. Down 1 and to the right 1, 2. Down 1, right 1, 2. And you're out of space. If you want points in the opposite direction, instead of going down, go up. Instead of going to the right, go to the left. And draw your line. Where they cross is the solution. They cross right here. So this is your solution. So your solution is going to be 1, 2, 1, 2. This is the solution. All right, so the next one, you're finding the slope between 2 points. Remember, you use the slope formula, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. You label your points first. This is x1, y1, x2, y2. So now you're going to substitute these numbers into the formula. So this gives you on the top, y2 is 3. Minus is a part of the formula. Y1 is 70. X2 is negative 5 minus 40. Okay. So this is going to be, this is plus a negative, so the top number is going to be a negative what? The bottom number is going to be a negative 45. Let's reduce that. I forgot. Negative divided by a negative is going to be a positive. And let's write the decimal for that instead. Let's do a decimal. 67 divided by 45. So that's going to be about 1.48 repeating. And since this is a negative and a negative, negative divided by a negative is going to make that a positive. All right, let's look at this one. The type of angles, these two angles right here that have measurements, they are vertical angles because they're diagonal from each other. Vertical angles are congruent, so we can set them equal to each other and solve for x. So this is going to be 2x plus 25 should equal 50. Okay, so this is the equation. The key information is these two. We have our equation. Angles, we can say angles are equal. Or they have equal value. So let's solve the equation so we can get the solution. To get x by itself, get rid of the positive 25 by subtracting 25 on both sides. This is gone, and I'm left with 2x over here is equal to 25. We're going to divide both sides by 2 on both sides, which gives us x is equal to 12.5. All right, so the last one, it says examine each set of functions to determine which has the greater rate of change. Rate of change is the same as slope. The formula for slope or rate of change is m is equal to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So from both of these, I'm going to pick 2 points. So let's do table A first. Whichever slope is the greatest, that's going to be my answer. Okay? Remember, when you're picking the greater slope, you ignore the negative signs. Okay? So this is going to be my first point, x1, y1. Second point, x2, y2. Just pick 2 points. Doesn't matter which two. So for my formula, I'm going to substitute -5 on top. Minus is a part of the formula, -8. On the bottom, I have 2 minus -2. So this is going to be plus a positive, and that's going to give me 3 on the top. This is going to be plus a positive, that's going to give me 4 on the bottom. So as a decimal, since I'm comparing, change it to a decimal. This is 0.75 for this slope. Now I'm going to look at the other. I'm going to write the slope formula again. I'm going to do the same thing all over again. I'm going to pick the first 2 points. This is x1, y1. This is x2, y2. So on the top, I'm going to have m is equal to a -38 minus a -46. On the bottom, I'm going to have 1 minus a -5. So that gives me, when I do this on the top, this is plus a positive. So that's -38 plus 46. And that gives me 8 on the top. On the bottom, minus a negative is plus a positive. That gives me 6. I'm going to convert this to a decimal. 8 divided by 6 as a decimal is 1.3 repeating. So it is obvious that 1.3 repeating, the number is going to be greater than 0.75. So this one is greater. Table B has a greater rate of change.